There's a bit of blue sky just over there, somewhere. Oh, this is not fun, is it? Hey, everyone knows everyone. And I don't look like everybody else. Teletubbies. What an amazing piece of art that is. Ooh. Where's my smock? We're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. So, hello and welcome to another episode of Adventures of the Corpse. So, the beautiful boughs of the church of St Helens is ringing behind us. So, we are in Clifford Chambers today, which is a little village not far from Stratford-upon-Avon. Going to do a little walk to Preston-on-Stour and back. I'll pop up a little bit of a map now and then in true Adventures of the Corpse fashion, we'll have a look around this church. So we start off by the Jubilee Hall on the main street in Clifford Chambers. We head out over the fields to Atherstone-on-Stour. We then hit Preston-on-Stour, then come back around through the woods and make our way back around over the hill, back to Clifford Chambers. St Helens Church is the kind of place that looks like it's been resting peacefully for over 1,000 years. While its roots do go back to the Saxon era, the church is actually a bit of a survivor. The most dramatic chapter in St Helens' long history occurred in December 1918. As the world was celebrating the end of the Great War, the church was nearly lost to a devastating fire. It gutted much of the interior, but the sturdy 14th century tower and the outer walls held their ground. The subsequent restoration was handled with such care that today you can hardly tell where the medieval stone ends and the 20th century craftsmanship begins. It's a testament to the villagers' refusal to let their history turn to ash. So just a short walk away from the church is the famous Clifford Manor. If you've ever wondered about the name Clifford Chambers, the manor is the reason why. In the 11th century, the manor was given to the Abbey of St Peter in Gloucester. The income from the land was specifically earmarked for the abbot's chamberlain, who was the man in charge of the monastery's internal finances, which is how the village became Chambers. And Clifford Manor is a place where a lot of the local poets used to gather, I think throughout the ages, including one very, very famous poet that is tied to Stratford-upon-Avon. Can you guess who it is? Clifford Chambers was essentially the suburbs for the Shakespeare Circle. The neighbouring manor house was owned by the Rainsford family, who were patrons of the arts and friends of Michael Drayton, who was a contemporary of the bard. It's highly likely that Shakespeare himself walked these grounds. This here is the manor cottage. It represents the living history of the village. For centuries it was part of the wider manor estate, housing the people who kept the chambers running. Today it is used as a luxury holiday let. The same fire that nearly engulfed the church nearly also erased the whole manor. The owner at the time, a Kathleen Doughty, later Rees-Mogg, didn't just rebuild, she commissioned Sir Edwin Lutyens, the most famous architect of the era, to restore it. Local legend says that the manor was haunted for centuries by a troublesome abbot who refused to leave after the Reformation. During the 1919 restoration, Lutyens reportedly helped the owners conceal a Bible and gold coins within a wall cavity to finally placate the spirit. If you live in the UK through January and February of 2026, then you will know that we've had a crazy amount of rain pretty much all over the shop. So, which is why I'm sort of doing these shorter walks really at the moment, just to wait for everything to dry up a little bit, just because it's been crazy, even just to get to places like the roads around by me have been flooded quite a lot. So Come to a nice sort of local place. It's a lovely shot there of the manor there through the floodwater. So yes, this is quite a local place to me. Never really walked around here though, so it's also a little bit of a recce to do a bit of a dog walk potentially in the future. Obviously once it dries up a bit. So if this is your first time watching any of these videos, then welcome. And we basically see what we can find. Any interesting points of history, points of interest, anything like that really at all. So, and then I sort of guide you through the walk as we go along. So this is a little bit of a meeting point for when we come back. So we are about to go left and hopefully not just walk into a load of floods. But we come back from that way. So we go all the way round to Preston Stour and come back round and come back through here. Anyway, let's go. Quite a bracing wind today, very, very cold. Wish I'd have put a hat on, like a beanie or something. Yeah, so this has been one of the very few days where it hasn't absolutely belted it down with rain, if I'm honest, round here. So yeah, there is forecast rain in about a couple of hours, so I'm hoping to get round the walk and be back in the warm and dry before that happens. But it does look okay at the moment. Just there's a bit of blue sky just over there somewhere. So yeah, I'm hoping this it's quite a narrow bit this. I'm just sort of going up and down the puddles as we go. But it looks like it opens up in a sec to a field. And then the River Stour is just on our left. You can just sort of see through the gap now. This hedge has come down a bit. This is actually all the back of the big Clifford Manor. This is all the gardens, as you can tell. They don't want people looking in there willy-nilly, which I completely understand, you know, it's their residence at the end of the day. I don't think I'd be happy with people snooping over my back garden, so I will be respectful of that. But yeah, as I was saying before, the River Stour does follow us a little bit here. On the map, it doesn't look like it's close enough for it all to be flooded around here, and it doesn't look flooded up ahead in the fields. So I'm hoping I make the right choice, because the video, or there were several videos that I were going to do, and they all seem to be near rivers or near floodplains. Well, I wonder what this was. I assume that this is still part of the Clifford Manor grounds. But anyway, right, you can see now we're in open fields. Fairly obvious trail there, isn't it? And then the River Stour is literally just where that hedge, the tree line is. You probably just see past that tree line. I think that's floods actually over there, but the River Stour just is in that dip where you can see the tree line going along. So it looks like we're going to be okay. And we are actually walking into a bit of sunny climates by the looks of it. I do get a little bit of a feeling when I was walking through the village then that everyone knows everyone, and I don't look like everybody else, or I look like an outsider. I do feel like I'm being frowned upon for filming. Beautiful tree there. Nice little landmark in this field. So just approaching the even tinier village of Stratford-upon-Avon. A little blackbird. Oh, sorry, mate. Wow. What is that magnificent building? So, As you can see, we still have an awful lot of water here. So this is the River Stour. So luckily we don't have to go that way. We are walking up this way. So this is the Alscott Biodiversity Site. The Alscott site is a 3,000 acre development of residential and commercial properties that sit around a Grade 1 listed manor house. Looking at their website, it states that they are involved in several biodiversity projects to protect the local habitat. So we are sticking to the right of the stream, so we're not actually going into that land. I believe that is private land there. But yeah, we're going to start heading up into these Lara Hills. So we got Preston-on-Stour first to go to, and then up into the hills and back around to Clifford Chambers. You can just feel the first drops of rain coming down. So I think it might be forecast a little bit earlier than what they said it was. Let's go, sheepses. Like, you got a nice tasty snack there, whatever it is. Is it pumpkin? What is it? Looks nice. So we need to cross over this brook shortly. Yeah, it looks like I can see a little trail. So I assume that this is part of the biodiversity projects that they've got going on. So over the other side of the stream, this looks like a bit of a muddy slalom going up here. So I do find that, oh, I look like the Emperor from Star Wars. I do find that some of these walks, they can be a little bit hit and miss sometimes, these sort of village to village ones, because the farmland and stuff in between them isn't always as rosy as the walk and the OS map would make you believe. But there's always something very interesting usually, especially these little rural places like Atherstone. You know, less than 50 people live there. That's remarkable. Like, you know, that's pretty much a family these days, isn't it, really? And I always just think of like the people that have walked along this path, like before me, and the people that have farmed this land for generations and generations, and you know, the people who built that church. That's what I sort of hold on to, I think, in these walks like this, where it can seem a little bit mundane and you don't really feel like you're experiencing anything fantastic. It's hardly the Grand Canyon, is it? Or, you know, Niagara Falls or anything like that. But these are, although Niagara Falls could well be hitting this area soon if it keeps raining. But there's something very peaceful and very solitude just about the whole being able to walk somewhere where not many other people walk. You know, there's no tourists around here, is there? You know, I mean, even little things like this fascinate me. I mean, what were these for? Were they to dam? Is it like to power something? It's obviously a complete man-made structure there, made out of stone. And then you combine it with the handrail there that just only goes like hardly a tenth of the way down that path because it's muddy, I assume. But yeah, well, I'm just checking the map now where we are. So we are going along. So we shouldn't be far now. We've still got a little bit of way to go to Preston-on-Stour. But yeah, I suppose my point is just because it's not like marked heavily on a map, or it looks like there's not a lot there, you'll usually find that there definitely is something worth looking at and exploring. And you can make your own little adventure, as you know I do. It's never boring. What does they say? Only boring people get bored. It's a very interesting saying, that. You know, I am a bit of an idiot, really. So it is definitely coming on to rain now. And I don't think it's going to stop for a while. And I know my wife will watch this back and she'll be like, you idiot. And she is right. She is right. I'll give it to her. It's on tape. There you are. Because I literally 2 days ago, I think it was, spent out some money on a nice fancy smock for occasions such as this. I can just throw over the top, keep me waterproof. And then what do? I don't bother bringing it, do I? I just leave it, just wear the same old blue hoodie. Will I ever learn? One day. I'm just gonna draw your attention to this behind me. So this is still the River Stour, but as you can see, I don't think it's meant to be all these little estuaries everywhere. So there is a local legend that is around these parts, and it's about a farmer that apparently made a bet one day that he could ride from Atherstone in Stour over to Alderminster, which is just pretty much just a little bit further over that way. And he had a bet, probably after a few drinks, after a long day's work, and he said that he could ride his horse between the two villages in a record time. So he went out and into total darkness, and he rode his horse as fast as he possibly could to Alderminster and tried to get back so that he could win this bet. And unfortunately, a branch stood in his way, hit him in the head and instantly killed him. And it is said that he still lurks from all the different pathways around here, especially the Alderminster to Atherstone and Stour, in a bit of a lost soul sort of way. And local legend has it that if you see him once, because apparently he has been seen, then you will see him twice more before something significant happens in your life. Can you see him? Oh, there's a heron literally right there. Wow. He must have literally are making the most of this flooded weather, aren't they? He was literally just, must have been sat just down there. Fill your boots, guys, fill your boots. Right, look at me stood on this hill up here. And I'll just keep looking at that hill over there as well. And that also reminds me of another local sort of, interesting fact, I suppose. So literally, probably about a mile, if that, sort of southeast of Preston on Stour, where we're heading to now, is actually where they filmed, talking of grassy hills, they filmed the Teletubbies. Now, I grew up on Teletubbies, so to me that's amazing. But yeah, I didn't realise there's a place called Wimpstone on a farm in Wimpstone, and yeah, they filmed Teletubbies there. Thought it was quite apt with the hills here to bring that up. See what I mean by there's always something that seems to happen, or some interesting facts about anywhere you go. There you are. Do, 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 do. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What an amazing piece of art that is. I did not know that was there or expect to come across that. It's amazing. Out of an old log. I can hear all the birds. All these. It's picked up. The village itself is a classic estate village, although every picturesque black and white timbered cottage you see belongs to the Alscott estate. Because it has been under the stewardship of the same family, the West, since 1747, the village has avoided the modern sprawl that affects other towns. It remains a perfectly preserved bubble of Georgian and Tudor aesthetics. What a beautiful, serene place. Which, that big, beautiful chunk of stone up there is St Mary's Church, which we will get to in a sec. Memorial there. for all the guys that did their service in World War One. Okay, so I'm going to cut through the churchyard. So it's telling me to go round past the phone box, but oh yeah, phone boxes as well. You don't see many of them these days. It's probably a library though. So this is St Mary's. While the church has medieval roots, it owes its striking look to a James West, the 18th century owner of the nearby Alscott Park. West was a bit of a trendsetter and a Gothic enthusiast. Wow, that's makes you feel very small. One of the most fascinating facts about St Mary's is its stained glass. Instead of standard biblical scenes, West filled the windows with a rare, eclectic collection of 16th and 17th century glass he brought over from the Low Countries, modern-day Netherlands and Belgium. This stunning piece of stained glass right here is said to have been acquired from Evesham Abbey after the Reformation. It's essentially an art gallery of European history tucked away in a Warwickshire village. Inside you'll find high-back boxed pews. In the 1700s these were the VIP lounges of the church, keeping the Alscott estate family warm and shielded from the draughts and the gaze of the common folk. The church tower houses a clock dating back to 1754, which still rings over the valley. It's a mechanical heartbeat that has dictated the pace of the village for over 270 years. Beautiful bed of snowdrops there. So it looks like we're out on the road for a little bit. Look at that sun. Bless it, it's trying its hardest to break through. Cloud and having it though. It's just heading up the road, come across this. What I thought from afar was a bench, but it's just a single seat. And it's just out looking onto the field. Nice view there of the church tower in that. And obviously this field. And I was thinking there's got to be a good story. People obviously sit there, or someone sits there, because there's markings on the floor where it's rubbed the grass away, so someone will sit there. I wonder if it's the farmer's wife who comes up, makes sure he's doing a good job of ploughing the field. If anybody who's local knows who uses that seat, is it just because it's a bit of a hill, so it's just for the locals to use if they want to just sit and ponder, or is it for another reason? Please let me know. So I don't know if you can see that hill just there in the distance, right here. That, because the very distinct flat top to it, and the tree in the middle of the field on the top, is Meon Hill. Jeez, coming off that plane. Where's my smock? Oh, this is not fun, is it? Hey, come on. I can't actually feel the left side of my face. Whew. I'm pretty sure you could extract a tooth and I wouldn't feel it. It's just not cricket. It's a shame because it's probably a really nice view, but I can't see any of it because if I look that way, I'll die. But is it? Let me know. Should be able to see to Meon Hill, some Broadway maybe, that way. Oof. Whoa, I'm out of the wind a little bit. We've got a hedge here now, look. Shouldn't be too far on this road now. Oh, so now it's calmed a little bit there. You can probably see Meon Hill a bit better from there, look, with the sort of breaks off from the main escarpment of the Cotswolds that you can see sort of a bit further on. You can actually see the Malverns there in the very far background. And there's Breeden Hill on the right. But yeah, very flat shape to the top of Meon Hill and that famous witch's tree that stands in the middle. Anybody that's interested in learning a little bit more about Meon Hill and a very, very interesting true crime unsolved murder that actually took place on Meon Hill. I do have a video on that, so feel free to check that out. That was a Halloween special. But yeah, I won't go into it. I'll let you look into it yourself. So there's a little bit of road walking on this, which is a shame. If anybody's seen my other videos, they know how much I enjoy walking on the road. Obviously not. But they've got quite wide verges here, which is always nice. It's the little ones where you're penned in and there's tractors that are coming at you and you're like, I've got nowhere to go. It really is coming down now. I'm hoping that we pop into the woods or something. Sorry, I know you can't see my face. Maybe a good thing, but I hope we pop into some woods or something up here, because it's a little bit of shout would be nice. It's my own fault. No such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. Yeah, whatever. So I can imagine on a good day, that behind me is a beautiful scenic view. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not something you want to sit and look at forever, is it really? The surrounding hills. Okay, so we're heading this way, back, hopefully in. It looks like we're going into that wood though, which would be nice. Let's just see, yeah, definitely over the Stour. You can see the trail there going into the wood. Right, let's have it. It's still very beautiful, to be fair. Birds are still singing. This is such a slippy path. It's on quite a big camber. It's really awkward to try and get any sort of momentum up. I think it's just one of those head down and just crack on, and hopefully you'll get there without falling on your backside. I mean, from here, that looks like absolutely nothing, but the off camber there is surprisingly slippy. It's just pushing you down the hill the whole time. Very difficult. And then greeted with this beautiful thing. It's a very thick woodland. Look at all this. But right, gonna squeeze through this gap here. Ooh. How is this gonna be, do you think? I don't think this is gonna be a walk in the park. We're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Right, I'm going to pick you up when I get to the other side. Hopefully I'm not covered in mud. Okay, a little bit of an update. Managed to come about that far in about 20 minutes. No, I'm only playing. So it took a couple of minutes. But yeah. Why is it though that it can never be a nice, soft, pillowy tree that's really nice and soft and easy to fall into? It has to be like massive death spikes. Well, this is quite an interesting woodland, isn't it? Keep dogs on leads. Well, that's much better. It's actually got a dry, because it's protected by these beautiful trees. Look at all these holes. Wow. That is a full-on burrow system, isn't it? Look at that one. I don't want to get too close just in case there is something inside it, but definitely looks like it's been used and dug out for foxes, badgers. There is a gate there. I think we carry on climbing up the hill. So there's a view from atop the hill that we just climbed. So that's back out to where we first started. That's where we were walking from towards Atherstone on Stour. And then you've got the Meon Hill over there in the mist. You should be able to see so that's the Welcome Hills over there in Clopton. Yeah, just heading along the hilltop now. Should find our route back down into Clifford Chambers. Oh wow, the sun has graced us with its presence. Making its way over there though, look at that. Sweeping across the fields. Bringing hope to all and everyone. It's coming back out again. This is incredible. The solar panel is out, absorbing all them vitamins. Marvellous. So this is quite squelchy here, as you can probably hear. The old manor house down there somewhere, so that's Clifford Chambers there, all those row of houses you can see there. You can hear the skylarks there, seem to have all of a sudden come alive now that the sun's come out. You can tell we're getting back down to level ground again with the bogginess. So the sun in the light coming over there, it's making the sky look very dramatic, isn't it? I think, look at that, beautiful sun again. I think all the people in the UK are probably just begging for, this is the end of, so mid-November at the moment. And like I alluded to before, we've had so much rain over the last couple of months. Gotta be going on for a couple of months. And we just want just a week of sunshine like this, just to keep baking down just for a week or so, just to give the ground a little bit of a chance to recover really from all the floods. I'm definitely up for a nice dry walk, if I'm honest. Get out like I did when I started back in last September, and it was lovely and dry, almost too dry, some might say. Well, we did say, we moaned then, didn't we, as well? It does look very dramatic though, doesn't it? Look at that. Clouds seeping across and the blue sky coming out. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a hell of a storm going on over that way. So, just come off the field there. See that dramatic sky there. Beautiful. We're back on to the road into Clifford Chambers again now, back on terra firma. Just coming up is where I said about the crossroads and about this is the way we would come back in to Clifford Chambers. So this is back at that crossroads that we began at, and the weather is very, very different, isn't it, indeed? So we're just going to walk back past the Clifford Manor and back along past the church, back to the van. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully this has been a little bit of enjoyment. If nothing else, it's been I would say it's definitely been an adventure of some sorts. But yeah, please join me, subscribe if you haven't already. It does really, really help. It is completely free and it does help the channel immensely. So yeah, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.